There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope that your Tuesday is, well, it's going well. And even if it's not, this is why I'm actually going live for a couple minutes. I've had one of those days where it's just, you know, you don't know which way is up, down, left, right, sideways. A lot of chaos and then some frustrations happen. I'm sure that everybody has those days, right? To where you're going and you're just cruising, doing your thing, and just it happens. Well, this afternoon, and down here in Southwest Florida, we are in our rainy season, and I have to tell you that during our rainy season, these afternoon thunder showers can really get frustrating, especially when you live where we do. Sometimes the internet reception or the internet service goes out. So whenever we moved here, we would have these afternoon showers and lightning would pop, and then the electricity just kind of blinks. However, if you're familiar with how the internet works, there are routers and modems and everything else. Whenever they have that interruption, now the device has to cycle and spin back up, and it can take a few minutes. Well, it got really frustrating. So I ended up getting these battery packs, these little battery backups for our computers and our Wi-Fi, so that that would not happen. That being said, it's not always a fail-safe, and while they are great, it doesn't always stop everything. So, for example, this nice little monitor right here today, um, it got fried, and out went the service and everything. I turned my computer back on, and I'm like, all right, well, guess the monitor's not working. So I checked the connections, did everything, restarted. No, it's shut. Yes, it was under a surge protector and plugged into the battery pack. Just is what it is. And I noticed that even though the rest of the day has been a really good day, I met somebody downtown. We had some coffee, talked about a few things, some businesses related to like funds and raising funds and some of these different, like what you would call like Shark Tank and incubators for entrepreneurs to help them get up and going. We looked and had a great conversation. And now I've got a property that's a listing that we just took live last week. It's looks like we're going to be under contract. We've got the counter out to be signed. Great day. And then this happens. And I realized I started letting that ruminate, like, oh, wow. And I caught myself kind of throwing away a good day over one little frustration. And then this thought came to mind. It's a story, and it's just referred to as the Chinese farmer. And I had to bring it up over here just so I could actually tell it, somewhat well. But the crux of it is, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, there was a Chinese farmer, and he had a horse that he used to plow the field so that he could actually plant his crops and feed his family. One day, the horse ran away. And, as that happened that evening, people in the village would come by and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry about your horse. I can't believe that that happened. That's just horrible. Such bad luck." And the farmer replied with, "Maybe." So, all right, that's kind of a odd reply, wouldn't you think? Well, the next day, the horse came back, and it was bringing 7 wild horses with it. So in the evening, everybody came back and said, "Oh, isn't that lucky? The horse came back and it brought 7 more with it. It multiplied the stock. Now you can do all these other things. Such great luck." The farmer said, "Maybe." They scratch their head and they go on. Well, the next day, the farmer's son goes out and he's going to start trying to break the horses, train them so that he can actually start working with them, maybe sell a couple, maybe use a couple for extra work around the farm. And well, wouldn't you know it, as luck would have it, one of the horses threw the son and broke the son's leg. Again, the villagers came by and they were just looking and seeing what all had happened. And well, they were saying, "Wow, your son broke his leg training these horses. Such bad luck." And the farmer goes, Maybe. Well, a few days later, one of the armies come by and they're recruiting for soldiers to fight in the general's army. Because back then, they would have a lot of wars amongst themselves within the country. Came by and they were recruiting. And it wasn't really a choice. So general comes and says, "Bring your son out. I'm going to take him into my army. He's going to go off to war for me." The farmer looks and says, "I'm sorry, my son just broke his leg a few days ago. So he can't go off to war and fight." So the general says, "Okay," turns, goes on. The villagers come by and say, "Wow, what great luck you have that your son had a broken leg that he's unable to go and fight and risk his life." The farmers reply, "Maybe." So it really starts to, if you take that into everything and everything that we experience, really start to wonder, are the bad things that happen to us necessarily bad things? Or the good things that happen to us necessarily good things? Maybe. I think it really comes down to your mindset. What do you think about that? So thankfully, I've been working on that a lot. And with that, even though these frustrations come and they go, you choose if you want to dwell on it and ruminate on that and let that be the thorn that continues to just prick and cause that soreness in you, right? Or maybe we just suck it up and we go on. That was a great reminder today that I just need to suck it up and go on. And perhaps just think, maybe it'll work out in the long run. Maybe I was due for a bigger monitor. Maybe Catherine heard that. Either way, hope y'all have a great night. And if you need anything, I'm around. I'm doing some work, getting a little marketing done before the end of the day. And it's Taco Tuesday. So we'll go in there and make some tacos. Y'all have a great night.